What's going on, everybody? Welcome to TRB Live. We are very excited to be with you to talk about Star Wars, our escape to a galaxy far, far away that we do every week here on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@TRB Podcast. I'm John. With me, as always, is 1993 Madonna, and we are here to talk to you about no news. No, it's Lacey. It's Lacey. How are you,
Hi.
Lacey?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, for our audio
Every
listeners,
time I
Lacey's got
try
the
some type
yeah.
of new hairstyle, John has
Mhm.
to like go in on it.
Yeah, we didn't plan this. But no hat for me today. Got a haircut today, so usually when I get a freshie, I take the hat off for a show because otherwise my hair looks like Papa from Stranger Things by the end of the day. But I've been binging Stranger Things to get ready for the new season, which we'll talk about on Nerdy and Nice. But here we're talking about Star Wars, and for everyone with us live, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We have super chats available. I just saw one come in already. If you want to be hyperspaced to the front of the line and make sure your comment is read and react to on the show, and it supports the show. So thank you very much for those. We appreciate those as always. At the end of the show, we're not doing Ask the Resistance today because we have a nice set of questions in Will of the Force, but we do have Resistance transmissions for you. And 'tis the season, as you may have seen with the title. We're going to talk about the scary moments in Star Wars history. From the very beginning to today. But Lacey, what's going on? How's fall treating you?
Fall is good. We're supposed to get a freeze tonight, which drove me to run around my yard picking up all my inside plants and running them inside earlier tonight before I got ready for the podcast. I apologize in advance if anybody can hear my children screaming. They're going through a bit of a rough patch with bedtime. It's been challenging. I did recently go to a nostalgic toy show here in Connecticut, and I picked up, actually, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of like Muppets and like Sesame Street, because I always tend to get the Jim Henson stuff that they like, you can't find. But I did pick up some Star Wars stuff, and I'll have to post a picture of it because it's behind my chair. You can't really see it. It's like a ceramic 1980s Darth Vader that someone had wired with like lights. And then I picked up a vintage record of Empire Strikes Back.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good finds. Good finds. Yeah, so we don't have a lot of news, but there are a couple things to, I guess, just check in on because we got to address what's been being put out there. There hasn't been a lot of concrete Star Wars news. There's been a lot of rumors and stuff like that. But one nice thing is live action Ezra Eman Esfandi shared a message to fans as Ahsoka has wrapped filming. And we talked about Ahsoka wrapping filming last week. And his quote was, "Prayed that season 2 would go smoothly, be an epic adventure, and take everything to a new level. Locked in to make sure I was in the best headspace I could be to serve a story much larger than any one person. That's what I wanted, and I'm certain I got it. So grateful and excited for y'all to tune in. Godspeed, and may the Force be with you all. Thanks, London. Love, Jabba." So,
Love that.
yeah, they wrapped at Pinewood. I'm expecting a bigger Ahsoka season 2. When you get promoted to chief creative officer of a movie studio, you probably get to tick up your budget a little bit on your programs. And that's what Dave Filoni has done.
He did. And I like how Eman also posted this post with a picture of him overlooking a city like Ezra did in Rebels. He had him like at the side of overlooking a balcony, which was really cute. He really cares about this character, and I hope everybody knows that. Like, he lives and breathes this character in a way that I don't think we've seen with a lot of Star Wars cast.
Yeah, I agree. He seems like a really good dude. He seems to really love this. And as we always talk about on this podcast, I think both of us just tend to pull more for the actors who want to be doing it and care about it and love doing it and love the fans. And, that's an obvious thing, but we certainly tend to lean that way. The other thing, Lacey, Mara Jade has returned, and I believe it was John Roca who is reporting that he believes, from what he's hearing, that Amy Adams is going to be a Jedi in Starfighter, which led to other rumors from other people saying Amy Adams, of course, because she has that certain DNA gene that makes her hair red, she has to be Mara Jade. So Mara Jade is apparently Amy Adams in Starfighter, according to a lot of rumors running wild on the internet. And as soon as fans who love that character or love the EU even get a sniff of that, it really ignites. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, Lacey. Do you think there's any truth to that rumor?
I actually really think she's gonna end up being Rey's mom in the next
Oh,
trilogy. I'm just kidding. I just remember that every single character that has brown hair is somehow related to Leia or Jin or
right.
Kira or Rey.
Yep.
Um, that no, they're not doing Mara Jade. Guys, we've talked about this on the show with actual Lucasfilm historians and experts that have said that George Lucas does not like Mara Jade. So I don't see Lucasfilm moving in a direction with a character that he didn't like.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know why people love Mara Jade so much. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure people say that about me and like in Zellens. They're like, okay, weirdo, like, why do you like the puppets so much? Why don't you calm down? So I don't know why I said that. That's a little too more blunt than I wanted it to come out. But I'm just not sure why everyone always pushes for that. I guess it's a want more than a actual thought of like, oh, this has to be it. It's just like, hey, how many times can I speak it into existence that eventually it will happen? Like the solid manifesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you
That's
think?
yeah, I don't think Amy Adams is playing Mara Jade. I think that would be absolutely crazy for them to say this is a brand new story with all brand new characters, not connected to the Skywalker saga, and then be like, just kidding. She's playing a non-canon expanded universe character that's been around for 30 years or whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't think there's any truth whatsoever to that rumor. I do not think Amy Adams is playing Mara Jade, and yeah, J.W. Rinsler had told us in conversations with George Lucas, he said George cannot stand Mara Jade, and he felt like she was too sexualized and too sexy or something like that. I forget what the
Which
word,
she
but he did.
was. I mean, she had, like, really extremely too tight leather pants on to go
Yeah,
fight people.
yeah,
It was just a little much.
yeah.
Like,
So
when you look at other Star Wars characters that have somewhat leather pants on, there's always a little wiggle room, a little bit of movement.
right, yeah.
Those things were painted on her.
She had the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman costume going on.
Yeah. Like, it can't be good for, like, sitting in a seat. Just like,
Yeah, especially the way Jedi sit. You got to
like,
be
just slipping off the
legs
chairs as you're
crossed.
going into hyperspace. Just like just, ugh.
So yeah, I guess we're not buying that rumor, but we do have a great show. So for anyone not joining us or whether you're joining us live, just make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube, your favorite podcast app, and all that stuff. And Lacey will fill in more of our plugs in our first segment, Will of the Force.
Oh, we're like right going into it. I
We don't have
wasn't
to.
ready.
We can wait. We can wait.
No,
What do you
no,
want to
we're
talk about?
no, we're good. We're good.
I fear nothing, for all is as the Force wills it.
All right, guys. Will of the Force is back, which I'm excited about. I love this segment. So there are lots of ways you can support us. You can like this video, comment, subscribe. You can follow us on any social media platform at TRB Podcasts. We made it super easy so you can find us everywhere. You can follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any of those podcast apps. There's like iHeartRadio, Chartables, Podfeed. Like every time I turn around, there's another one. We're probably all on all of those, but definitely leave us a review if you can. It lets us know how you're doing, and then it also plays into the algorithm. Make sure that you're catching up every week so you don't miss anything, and then also, it's nice to get some views. We'd appreciate that. But if you want more than that and you really want to be a part of the community, you can head over to patreon.com/TRB podcasts. Starting at just $5 a month, you support what we're doing here. And our ultimate goal, John will be right back. Our ultimate goal of being podcasters full time. That is like the dream for us. We've always wanted to do that for a living. We've been doing this for, oh my gosh, I say this every week, but I think it's like we're going into almost 9 years now. So we're getting close to a decade of us talking at one point 2 times a week about Star Wars, but talking a lot often about Star Wars. And your support on Patreon lets us do that. So John is back. Welcome back, John. So over on Patreon, we have all different types of things like mini episodes. Right after this, we're doing a live Q&A with our patrons where they can ask us anything. It can be Star Wars related or not. It's usually a great way for John and I to get to know each other, as well as you guys to get to know us and us to get you. It's just a
Oh
really,
yeah.
you know, and it really gets you thinking. It's nice to get asked questions sometimes that have nothing to do with Star Wars and like remember like fun memories from childhood and stuff like that. But yeah, more than that, it just supports us in what we're doing and you get to be a part of the community. So thank you so much for that. So this segment, after all of that, is a kind of pitching of scenarios or situations, if you will. Will they, won't they? So first up, and one of the benefits here is that if you are a patron, $5 or up, you get to submit questions to this segment and get a shout out on the show, which is awesome. So first up is Patreon submission from Major Sam Rush. What up, Sam? How's it going? Who said, will any of the characters from Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy make it into a TV show, movie, non-Lego game, or comic? Personally, I would like to see Landalorian. So suave, but oh so deadly. John, what do you think?
I don't think so, because I think the whole spirit of this Lego thing is to detach from canon and say, let's just have some fun. And if you start taking a character that's organically created for Lego Star Wars and saying like, well, now we're going to pivot them into a comic or a book or something like that, then you blur those lines and even stomp it out. And I think it's this pure fun thing in the way that we look at Visions, which is obviously a more of an artistic perspective on non-canon Star Wars. But it's just this nice bubble to live in where you don't have to worry about the preciousness of canon and how we as Star Wars fans love Star Wars so much that we like to make it feel that it is real by having all of this like legitimate connectivity. And that's something Star Wars does better than any other franchise, but
Yeah.
it comes with the preciousness that fans hold it to. And I think that I would actually be a little worried if they start doing that, because then this thing that we get to detach from canon with is no more. So I'm gonna say no. It's a great question, Sam. You have me thinking, and I love that. But I'm going no. What about you, Lacey?
Those are all great points, and I don't mean to be lame, but I completely agree. I feel like Star Wars, the Lego Star Wars stuff, they get to do what they want to do because it doesn't fall into canon necessarily, but that they're not tied to the rules of the saga or what can happen or what can't happen because it's constantly making fun of itself.
Yeah.
I don't see any of those characters making the jump over, unfortunately, because then it gets too confusing and then it misses the purpose of the Lego stuff, which is to draw in children and families that maybe aren't diehard Star Wars fans to have a little bit of fun that then they want to maybe explore more through the Lego video games, the Lego building sets, obviously, but then also through regular Star Wars. I don't think they're ever going to make that choice, but I can understand the want of it because they do so many wonderful like what if scenarios that why wouldn't you want to see that translate into the Star Wars galaxy, the real one? Yeah, unfortunately, no. I don't think that's happening. But thank you for the question, Sam. I really appreciate it. I gotta get caught up on Rebuild the Galaxy. It came out in like a really weird place. It was like really quiet. It didn't come out in like a big it's out now splash, but
Yeah.
all right. One thing Star Wars fans are known for is seeing the movies multiple times in the theater. If you really like The Mandalorian and Grogu, will you go see it multiple times in theaters like previous Star Wars movies, John?
I will. Yeah. Seeing a Star Wars movie in theaters is such a cool feeling. And if I have a chance to, go with somebody who I didn't go initially with and see it, I'll be there. I don't think there's been a Star Wars movie released that I hadn't seen it multiple times, aside from the original trilogy, because Return of the Jedi came out when I was like a newborn. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be there. If I really like The Mandalorian and Grogu, I'll make an effort to see that multiple times in theaters, because seeing Star Wars on the big screen, we've been waiting. It's only been 6 years. It'll be 7 by the time the movie comes out. But it's felt like a long time with all the other stuff happening. So I'll be there. How about you?
I mean, it's wild to think about. We have been podcasting on the timeline more without movies than with movies.
Yeah.
Like we've gone past the point of like, oh, we've had 3 years and then a movie and then 3 years, and it's like, no, now we're on the other side of that equation. I would probably go see it again if I really loved it in the theater. I, would dream of an opportunity that I get to see it at some type of big event or premiere or something. That's always the hope of a podcast and or as a Star Wars fan to have that opportunity. But if not, I'll still probably see it a couple times. I would hope that I would see it with John at some point, but life is crazy. And then I'd probably go see it with maybe Matt or maybe some friends or something, because I feel like you miss so many things on that first viewing, like, because you're just trying to take it all in, that the second one is really where you get to settle into like what is happening on screen.
You gonna get Matt into a theater to watch a Star Wars movie?
Probably not. I was trying to be optimistic. I was trying to manifest it and put it
You're
out
like,
there.
Darth Maul's coming back. Let's go to the movies.
I know. The only time, well, he went to, he went to The Force Awakens. Then he went to Solo. And then that was it. Oh no, he went to The Rise of Skywalker with us.
He did?
Yeah.
With us?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because him and I picked up James in the car.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. He's been to a couple with me. He's put up with, I feel like he's gotten less likely to go though. Like as the years have gone on, he's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I've kind of respected that because he also doesn't make me watch like horror movies or, crazy wartime movies that are depressing AF. Like, but yeah, I think that'd be good. I can't wait to watch Star Wars in the theater. It's just a different experience,
Yes, absolutely. It's just when you see that Lucasfilm logo pop up, and who knows if they're like, I don't know if they're going to do the traditional crawl for Mandalorian and Grogu, but seeing the Star Wars and the Blair and all that, it's unlike any other movie experience for me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So next is a Patreon submission from Major Dennis Gill. By the way, Dennis Gill has been killing it in these shows lately. He's been
Is this a relative of yours?
No. He's been, I don't know. I don't know a Dennis. This is the only Dennis I know, which is a great name.
Dennis Gillerin?
No.
No.
But I do applaud that it's Gil because I get called Gil a lot. So I appreciate that. I just noticed that he's in here a lot. And I like that. So
there he is. He popped in the chat. What up, Dennis?
You're welcome. All right.
Wait. By the way, Dennis, I saw that you posted the same question in the Q&A. So we're going to do it here so everybody can get the answer. So we're not going to do your question again on the Q&A. So we got you here. So we're doing it, but I did see it in the Q&A. So just so you know.
All right, Dennis, you're in the chat. You asked, will we ever see more stories set between the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones? Beyond the opening crawl, we know almost nothing about how Count Dooku and Darth Sidious laid the groundwork for the Separatist movement or stirred unrest across the galaxy leading up to the Clone Wars. Oh, that's the whole question. Sorry. I thought there was a space and then another question. So the question is, will we ever see more stories set between the Phantom Menace and the Attack of the Clones? John, what are your thoughts?
So correct me if I'm wrong to our audience, because I'm a little fuzzy. It's been a while, but I thought that Tales of the Empire did dabble in there with Yaddle and Dooku and
yeah,
all
they did.
that. Yeah. So I think yes. I think the Dooku book was pretty popular. Again, there's no way to find Star Wars book sales numbers to understand what books sell well and which don't. But I know a lot of people in fandom talked about that book for a while. I think it's a character people would like to see more of, and especially how involved he was with leaving the Jedi Order, developing this red herring separatist movement so Palpatine can create this ultimate empire to protect the people. So I think that especially, Clone Wars, between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith is only 3 years. You have 10 years between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, so that is ripe for a lot of storytelling. So I think absolutely, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened. Maybe that's their next, after Shadow Lord, maybe that's their next, dip the toe in familiar timelines for their next animated series. But I say absolutely. There's a lot to get into there, and you don't even have to feature Palpatine a lot. I know, including my co-host, there's Palpatine fatigue out there. But there's a lot you can do with Dooku and others, obviously Anakin and Obi-Wan. But if you want to distance yourself from the Clone Wars when you do something new, there are other things that you can get into with the underbelly of what's happening with the Republic and the galaxy. So I'm surprised they haven't yet. So I'm saying absolutely.
I feel like this is going to be a lame Will of the Force tonight, because I do also agree, just because there's so much time. There's so much time there. And also, as someone that isn't interested in these stories, I feel like that's all we get. Well, to be fair, we get a lot more Order 66 all the time. I feel like it's nonstop Order 66 all the time. Everything's about Order 66, which I understand. It's a climactic part of the tale of the Skywalker saga and also Jedi in general. But anyway, I think that this is a perfect time frame for people to explore that love the prequels and go into more of the backstory of a lot of characters that people do really like Dooku and Palpatine, Sidious, of course, without having to bring them on screen. Like, they could just explore those stories through books, comics, which they have. And I know Mike Levins in the chat, thank you, Mike, said they have had a lot of books explore this. I just think it's an easy way to kind of, there's so many Star Wars fans all over the timeline of Star Wars. There's people that want extended universe. There's people that want way, way long time ago, like James Mangold stuff. There's people like me that want more Rey and more later stuff while also getting original trilogy. And then there's some people that want to stay in that Mandalorian era. So I think this is a good way to kind of touch a couple different points in the timeline for people that want to taste of something a little different. So great question, and I agree. All right, our last question is, will we ever see another on-screen wedding in Star Wars? Oh, John, what do you think?
You go first.
I don't want to be the negative person tonight, but I do not think so. I think we've joked for many years that Star Wars has a villain problem and they tend to kill off their villains. They also tend to kill off their romance in Star Wars. And I haven't been more hyped for Ahsoka than I have recently when Bryce Dallas Howard was like, oh, it's romantic. I was like, oh, word? I was already in, but now I'm triple in, because anytime I hear the word romance in space fantasy, love it. We'll enjoy it. But I don't think we're going to get a wedding on screen. I think we have to get to the wooing first, and the courting and the relationship before you jump to wedding. And I don't think we have any characters that are in that space yet. Now, maybe what we were talking about last week with Ezra and Sabine, that might be getting there. Maybe they're the ones, or maybe it's someone else. Yeah, I don't see anybody getting married anytime soon in Star Wars, which is sad for me, because I really just want like one family to have some type of happy ending in Star Wars. Some type of like, hey, we made it, guys. High five. Let's live our happy life and somewhere, which we kind of got with Mandalorian and Grogu at the end of the season, where he's got his feet up and they're like chilling with the frogs in their little bungalow.
Yeah.
But even then, like, he doesn't have a lady with him. Or a man. I don't know what Mandalorian likes. Alien person.
Maybe he likes it all, like Lando.
Maybe. And I love that for him. You do you.
Yeah. Lando just loves love. I'm going to say yes. I think we're going to see Rey get married.
What?
I think we're going to see Rey get married in the spot where Luke Skywalker himself died on Ahch-To. And the patrons at this wedding are going to throw rice afterwards. And all afterwards, yeah. What I don't know why I said that like that.
Afterwards,
Afterwards,
they were all going to
uh,
get together and have a wedding. It's going to be really romantic.
but after when they walk down the aisle holding hands, Rey and whomever it is, obviously it's not going to be Ben Solo.
If you're going to make a bold statement like this, say who it is. Say it with your whole chest.
But what's going to happen is the guests are going to throw rice as they do traditionally, and sadly the porgs are going to eat the rice, and we know what happens to birds when they eat rice. So the porgs are going to become extinct canonically in the after effect of Rey's wedding on Octo. So
you went really far with that. Is that what you were like cooking in your brain while I was speaking? Is like, how do I answer this?
It just kind of percolated a little bit. It just came.
So it went from wedding, Luke's death, Rey with someone.
Yep.
Porgs dying.
Rice.
That was
porgs, death. Yeah. And well, that's so in that vision when Luke's teaching Rey to feel the Force and she mentions death, she's foreseeing the rice death of the porgs at her own wedding. I don't know. Rian Johnson said this to me personally at a bar. No one else was around, but I believe it. But I do think we will see another Star Wars wedding one day. It has to happen eventually. So I think we will get one because, it's so fresh in people's minds seeing Padme and Anakin with R2 and 3PO, and you got Anakin's like, two long gold arm just dangling there on the right. And
where are you going with this? I feel like you're sitting at a bar talking to me like a couple beers in, being like, "No, listen, like this is how it's going down."
Isn't that
like,
what podcasting is supposed to be? What's our bio on Instagram? And it's a couple of buddies talking Star Wars. That's what we're doing. No false advertising
I feel like
whatsoever.
This is going to a weird place, and I'm just gonna be like, check, please.
Yeah, no, but I do think we will see another wedding in Star Wars for sure.
I do have to laugh. Will of the Force. What up, Will? How's it going, man? Will, look, it's so professional with the yellow. Look at that. Look at you.
What up, Will?
What a handsome man. Will says Babu Frick needs to get hitched. So Babu Frick is like 83 years old. So I'm hoping Babu Frick's had some love, some romance. Maybe not there yet, but that's a long time to live without some type of something.
Well, maybe he has.
Isn't Babu Frick a girl or no, it's a dude? I think it is a dude.
I think he's a dude. He's voiced by a girl, but he's a dude.
Voiced by Shirley Henderson, yeah.
Yeah. But a Babu Frick wedding would be nice. Little miniature cakes and...
Hey.
Yeah. The bride is ready.
Wait, didn't we just find out recently, like, wasn't it Steven Spielberg who, like, added the hey in again in Rise of Skywalker? Like, he was the one that was like, have that guy come back so we know he's alive.
Spielberg?
Yeah. It was like his one note or something. Someone had said.
That really...
Now, again, I don't know how to, like, I feel like the internet is filled with, like, accounts that just make stuff up now that I see, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true, but I don't have the time to go look it up. I'm pretty sure someone had said that like someone said to add back in Babu Frick.
I do think you're right about that. I'm not sure. A lot of people were like annoyed by that, but I'm like, why? That was fun.
I love Babu Frick.
I like Babu Frick.
I feel like things like Babu Frick is what makes Star Wars Star Wars. I think some people make it a little more serious. And that's fine. You want to make your Star Wars serious, but
you got him right behind you there. Hass and his wife made that for you, yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I didn't get one. That's all right.
Don't be petty. Don't be petty. Mr. J.J. Abrams Funko Pop. Look at this guy.
Yeah. Look at him.
He's beautiful. And he's got like a little belly.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you get married. You get a little settled in.
little loincloth. I love that.
Yeah.
I love how he's just like, let me cover the boot just a little bit.
Yeah.
He's still got the side boot like most pop stars.
Yeah, he's like it's almost like he's a little gladiator. Like he looks like he's about to go into a boxing ring. Yeah.
A little bit of a little dump truck back there.
I think that would be so cool because his headgear looks like boxing headgear. Like if we put little red gloves on him, that'd be a cool little action figure.
He's so cute. My favorite thing still remains that you got questioned by TSA about him in the suitcase. The guy's like, yo, what do you got in there? And you're like, it's like, an alien. He's like, what? How much is it worth? You're like, I don't know, $50.
Yeah, I had to deal with all that. He's like, what is in this thing? He probably thought it was like some like unknown species I was trying to bring to populate the United States with. I'm like, it's a puppet. It's
not
a
real,
Star Wars
man.
puppet.
And you said he like didn't look up either. He's like, "What do you have?"
I honestly almost didn't get entered back into my own country because I had Babu Frick
You almost got
in your frickin' little
You were taking
easy
the
bake
suitcase.
oven suitcase, pink suitcase that I was
It wasn't
wheeling
pink.
around.
It was tan. It wouldn't make you carry a pink suitcase.
Frickin' Babu Frick.
It also had your stuff in there, so let's like pump the brakes a little
Did
bit.
it?
Yeah,
Oh.
it had like your kids' toys and stuff in it.
Yeah, but they were worried about the Frick.
Like my favors, you were like, I don't know, and the guy's like, tell me about it. You were like, what?
I'm like, the first thing I said to him was, it's an Anzellan, and I'm like, wait, don't.
And he was just like, sir.
Yeah, he's like, is that a terror cell? What is that? The Anzellans are attacking the no, but yeah, before we get into the discussion, I do know that we had a few super chats, so maybe we should get to those.
Sure, that would be great. So first up, we have Andrew Staley. What up, man? How's it going? Missed you, Andrew. He said, hi, guys. Just want to say hello and hope you're well. We hope you're well, too.
Thank you, buddy. Good to hear
Andrew
from you,
kills at karaoke.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Kills at karaoke.
Yeah, we did karaoke in Japan. Andrew did crush it. Everyone crushed it.
Except me. I didn't sing.
Yeah, that was kind of
my throat was I ruined my voice before celebration even came about. Yeah. Also, I was really anxious and nervous. So that's why
I wouldn't have known.
What?
You were loud all week. What are you talking about? Your voice was gone.
I was not.
You just didn't want to sing. That's all. That's okay.
I just said that.
And you were like picking songs for me to do?
I was.
It was a sabotage.
I picked songs, and then for some reason the thing malfunctioned and it picked it 6 times. So we had to bring in the people and like try to get them to understand that we were like erase.
Yeah.
Oh man, Mike Levins is up. Speaking of Mike Levins, we're talking about him in a nice way, of course, Mike.
Hey, buddy.
What up, Mike? He said, "Hey, friends, been a minute since I could tune into a live. Glad y'all are back, baby. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
We appreciate it. It's a good time being live."
I also like that Mike's profile picture is clearly for his upcoming acoustic solo album. I love that, Mike.
I actually really like that picture because it's diagonally across the frame.
It's pensive. It's artistic.
Got a little sepia on it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Next up is Will, of course. What up, Will? How's it going, man? TRB update. Give your cold hard credits to TRB. They're the best in the galaxy. TNF update. The G-men are up over the birds. Am I being Jedi mind tricked? If New York gets Poodoo, at least we've got TRB.
Are they winning?
I love that every time Will chimes in, it's literally be like, you guys are the best. Also, John, your sports teams suck. Every time.
Yankees have broken my heart again.
They really have. Thank you, Will. We really appreciate it. You're in the chat, I see.
Thank you, buddy. You're the man.
And last but not least for now is Miles. Hey, Miles. Love your pick, Spider-Man. Hi, LG and John from Northern England. Are you predicting a Star Wars sequel reboot announcement at Celebration 2027 from George Lucas? We effing need one. Thank you for adding the stars there.
Yeah.
John, what do you think?
I think Miles is being tongue-in-cheek here because I don't think Miles actually believes that 82-year-old George Lucas is going to be like, the last decade of my life, I'm back. We're doing it. No, I don't. I have been thinking recently because, and try to follow me here. I'd been for whatever reason seeing video clips of like Harrison Ford and like Mark Hamill and stuff around the late 90s, and they still looked relatively young and stuff like that. And I just can't help but think like, I wonder if George should have done the sequels first, and then gone back and done the prequels. And I love the prequels. Phantom Menace, I love that movie. That's my favorite prequel, and I don't want it to be changed. So if my idea happened, it would be a completely different movie, different actors, all that stuff. But just seeing like Harrison Ford still like in his prime and stuff, it would have been cool seeing that Han come back, and as well as, Luke. And I know Carrie had obviously her ups and downs with her struggles with mental health and all that. But I just can't help but think like if George got to make the sequels with them, not in their 70s, I think that could have been cool. But they're not like Star Wars isn't redoing, the sequels. But thank you, Miles.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. I'm really in that mood tonight, I
Wow.
guess.
It's that new
But
haircut. I'm telling you, very convincing
it's not
today.
a haircut. Oh, your haircut? I was like, I didn't get my haircut.
Yeah, I did.
But there is a piece of this also, not to be the lame businessy person, but they've invested so much money into what they've done for the past 10 years that I can't see them being like, scratch that. It's not
Yeah.
like the books where they were like, no, none of this counts. Like that's an easy thing to do. Whereas saying that all these shows in TV, or specifically movies here, Miles, I apologize. Saying that 3 movies that generated billions of dollars for Disney don't matter, and all the characters don't matter, and the storylines don't matter. And I'm not saying you said that. I'm just saying in general, that like they should just erase them all and then start anew is
And
just silly to me. They're just going to go in a different direction after that,
not for nothing, but
which is
who's
what
to
they just did
say-
for Tron, by the way. From my understanding, is the new Tron is not tied to the previous Tron.
Oh, so they're just trying to like branch it out now.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but that's
That
what I
could be
kind of
cool.
I got I kind of I don't know, a non-spoilery kind of reaction, and people were like, "Oh yeah, it's fine." And then some people were like, "Well, it doesn't really connect to the previous one, which was done by Joseph Kosinski from Top Gun Maverick, did
F1.
Tron Legacy." So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I what the announcements coming out of Celebration are. I'm sure they're going to be movie related, but I don't think it's going to be a whole new reboot.
Yeah, and also like, who's to say if George Lucas made the sequels, they would have been good? We don't know.
We don't.
Like people,
But I do
have
agree with like he
returned-
should have just done the sequels and then gone back. It would have given him
Yeah.
more time for the technology too.
Yeah, but we are where we're at, and I love all the movies in varying degrees. So, but thank you, Miles. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks so much. All right.
All right. So now it is time for our discussion.
Obi-Wan once thought as you do.
All right. It is spooky season. There is certainly a crisp, cool chill in the air. And as Lacey probably brought up earlier in the show, there's a frost warning tonight. So
Brought
it's
in my
Halloween
plans.
season. Yeah. It's Halloween season. We know Star Wars borrows from a lot of genres, including, of course, its main driver, fantasy, but it's also comedic, intense, dramatic, and sometimes it is scary. So being that Halloween's around the corner, we wanted to have some fun talking about the scary momies. Look at me tonight. Jeez.
What is that?
Just a couple of scary momies, that's all. Scary moments throughout the franchise. So yeah, Lacey, we've done a billion episodes of the podcast, and I'm sure we've touched on scary moments in the past, but I just thought it'd be a nice fun chat. We don't have to like do rankings or lists or anything like that, but just throw out things that are kind of scary in Star Wars. And there's some recent stuff, there's some old stuff. There's the first. Did you have one scene or one moment that was the first thing to come to mind when you were thinking about this that like just jumped out at you?
A couple, actually. So the first one, top of mind, was the spiders in Mandalorian.
Yes.
That episode creeped
Chapter
me
10.
out. I know a lot of people had like alien vibes from it. I hate bugs. This is a pretty known thing. I don't like them. I understand their use, and I understand that they're here because we wouldn't exist without bugs. However, I do not like them. And that episode where Grogu is eating bugs and getting chased by bugs, and they're gigantic spiders of all things, like they just look creepy. And ILM did an amazing job with the visual effects and CG on that stuff. And the fact that it's an ice planet too, like it's not like hot tropical spiders, it's like ice spiders. So you're freezing cold and you're running from spiders.
And they each have their own like egg, like an alien.
Like the egg farm. Yeah. Egg farms.
And you see the eggs pulsing as Grogu's walking through them and stuff. It was very reminiscent of the movie Alien or Aliens.
I said that. I had
And-
alien vibes.
Yeah, 100%. And there's something about, like, if you've ever seen like a spider sack break open, all the little spiders run
Ew, ew,
out.
ew, ew, stop. Nope. Mm-mm.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But these are
Mhm.
bigger spiders and they're just everywhere. And there's something about being somewhere foreign that is desolate and creepy and not knowing where these things are coming from. And then you got the big spiders, of course. And I love that also that was inspired by Ralph McQuarrie concept art for Empire Strikes Back. So that was an
Yeah.
amazing pullback of legacy artwork. So overall, it was a very cool input, but very scary. Yeah, I agree. And that also came to my mind. I think I had one other thing from the series. I definitely
Yeah.
had that, the spiders and the Mandalorian.
Dennis reminds me of the insect pit from King Kong. Can I tell you, this is one of
Oh, yeah.
easily my top 5 scariest moments in a movie. This scene scarred me as an adult for like 2 years. I was having nightmares for like 2 years about this stupid insect pit and Andy Serkis. Like, can we not bring that
Yeah.
up?
That
Oh,
was
I read that, Dennis, and my whole like I went, oh, because I just
yeah.
hate that scene so much.
I liked that version of King Kong though. I thought it was well done. That was Peter Jackson, right?
Yes.
I think I
Yeah.
think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that movie got me sad. Like I know how it ends and I was still like, "Oh man, poor King Kong." Um but for the series, and then I have a bunch of picks for the movies, but Clone Wars, Anakin's vision of his future is very scary in the Mortis arc.
Mhm.
Um, him seeing what he's gonna become, and it's swirling around him, and he's like screaming, like "Get me out of this!" Like that was a very tormented scene. Like if that scene was in live action with Hayden Christensen, people would be talking about that scene forever and a lot more, and probably regularly. I'm not saying they don't talk about it, but being that it was in Clone Wars, I don't think it gets like the spotlight it should get. But
Yeah.
that scene, if you go back and watch that scene, it is. I mean, Mortis itself is scary because it's like, what is this? Is it real? Where does it exist? Um, but that scene in particular, him, seeing this forecast into his future, almost like a scarier version of like a Christmas Carol with Scrooge, like just seeing what
Mm.
could be. That scene is hard to watch. It is kind of scary. And then my other one from the series is the zombie troopers in Ahsoka. Those, I mean,
Oh my god, yeah. That scene, like, where you just see them and you're like, you know something's not right. Are you talking
yeah,
about the
they're just
scene where
like,
they keep coming back to life?
yeah, they
Ugh.
reanimate, and you're not sure like how are they gonna kill these guys, and all of a sudden they just like come back in the background. They rise up like the Undertaker, or Michael Myers. It's you when you hear troopers in Star Wars, clones aside, especially Bad Batch and like the ones we love, you're like, oh, it's just you pick them off one by one, and that's the end of it. But those guys, really scary, especially if you're in a place you don't know, you're in this other galaxy, and these guys are getting realived, and these witches are in control of them.
Yeah.
That was pretty creepy, I gotta say. Like Dave Filoni, good job getting the spookies into Ahsoka for that.
It reminded me very much of video games where you get into a room and you have to fight everything and then you have to quickly go to the next room to shut the door, and that's like what they were doing, and I was like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is like go 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 go" type.
Yes. Yeah.
Um
It was definitely like that.
Yeah, that was very scary. I'm gonna take this like a different kind of spin on scary. Two things that, well, I'll start with one that's like genuinely scary was in Andor when they're at Gorman and the girl from Gorman is walking backwards and the K2 unit is walking towards her, and she
Oh
knows
yeah.
that it's like just over for her, and she knows it's coming for her because it locked onto her,
Yes.
and all you can do is run and stumble and you're getting hit by people around you and you know this thing's just chasing you. Like, that's pure horror right there. And the
That's
way
a
that it
good point.
tosses her onto her back and you just know, you're like, "Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Yep, she's dead."
Yeah.
That was really terrifying. And then more kind of psychological scary would be Kino not being able to swim. Like, that's my
Yes.
nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
being in a situation that, like, you finally get the out and you can't make the jump, or you can't take the out because of whatever reason, which is his was he couldn't swim. That to me is utterly terrifying because that
Yeah.
is your own demise due to your inability to do something like swim or
Yeah.
jump or whatever. Like such a simple thing like learning to swim is then going to have such an impact on your life. Like talk about it, it's very much to me like it reminded me of the Twilight episode where the guy is a librarian and all he wants to do is read and there's nuclear war and like everybody's gone and then he goes outside and he's in the books all by himself finally and he steps on his glasses so he can't read. And like that's the end of this like terrifying. It's like I don't know, there's something about that that just stuck with me. I mean, it stuck with everybody, but like really got in there in my brain that it was like, what if you ever get stuck in a scenario where you don't know how to do blank? And you're like, oh my God. Like driving a manual car. Like I made sure I know how to drive stick shift just so if I was ever being chased by a serial killer or anything like that, like I could at least start the car to get going. It's like kind of like that.
When would you have a manual car at your ready if you're being chased? Like,
I'm
are
just
you
saying,
gonna?
like, say you're in a scenario that you don't have a car and you come across a car and the only car that is there with the keys in it is a manual stick shift.
What if it has no gas, Lacey?
I'm not worried about that. That's too far. That's too far and worry. I'm saying you turn it, it turns on, the person's chasing you, you're about to die, but at least you know how to drive stick shift. That's why I learned. I'm not even kidding you.
But what if he's chasing you in a faster car?
I'm in my terror nightmare. This person's on foot. So let's pump the brakes a little bit, pun intended, that like there's other scenarios that play into this. I'm going to have nightmares later after this conversation. But it's just like with Kino, the fact that he can't swim is like such like a, you're like, what? And
Yeah.
then, oh God, it's heartbreaking, but also terrifying. And then another piece of that is the reveal that they're making the pieces for the Death Star is utterly terrifying.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you are in this
There's-
jail doing these simple tasks that seem so stupid and meaningless, and you don't realize you're making this ultimate thing that's going to kill millions and millions and millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like
There's I mean, a lot of Andor is scary from a just comparative reality type of thing. With how the politics of Andor was going and like these people just feeling helpless. Like the Gorman massacre, that's scary, you know. But I'll never forget when they're on that planet Aldani and the TIE fighters are patrolling. And I remember we talked about it on our live show talking about that episode. I was like, that was the first time I felt like TIE fighters terrified the hell out of me. That was very scary. So yeah, I saw Mike put one of my picks in the chat, so I'll throw it on screen. The Minok jump scare is scary.
Oh yeah.
There's not a ton of jump scares in the Star Wars.
Also like a large bug. Like those are like large bugs.
And it's like one of those like I bet they make them where they stick to your window like a toy Minok or something.
They did make those for a Celebration exclusive a couple years ago, I think for the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Which never happened.
Anniversary that never happened. But then they look like feeder fish, like the fish in the fish tank that suck along the fish tank.
Yeah.
But with wings.
Yeah, they do.
And they scream at you.
Yeah. And like just Leia just like looking and then all of a sudden it's just like boom. Like that was.
And her scream is so genuine too. Carrie does such a good job. She's like, ah.
Yeah. We do have a super chat with a pick as well.
Oh, I was going to say, we have this one here. Sean Buckley, what up? Palpatine profile said the brain worm episode is so creepy. Yeah, everybody talks about the brain worm episode of, was it Rebels or Clone Wars? Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, creepy. All right. Well, first up, we have Sneaky Zebra. What up, man? He says, hey, it's a live show, so just want to send a super chat to celebrate the awesome.
Thank you, brother.
You're awesome. What up? And then, of course, Mumbo Jimbo. What up, man? He said, hello, TRB. The Genosian worm things in the Clone Wars that possess people give me the heebie-jeebies. I love when I can catch a TRB live. Go team. Oh, thanks.
Thank you, man.
Is that the brainworm thing that I was just saying?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Can I tell you, this is unlocking a lot of fears in me that are outside of Star Wars, but I'm going to share them anyway because it's very similar. In Star Trek, there's that scene where they put worms in people's ears.
Oh, yeah?
It reminds me of this.
I don't know much Star Trek, I'll be honest.
I don't either, but my uncle was obsessed with Star Trek and always had it on. And I remember we were over at my cousin's house and he was watching it, and that scene came on in particular. I believe it's the one with Khan. I don't know. I'm not a Star Trek person. I just remember seeing the guy's face,
Mm.
and they have helmets, and he puts a worm in the helmet and he's like, go ahead, put the thing on. And then they show it like crawling into the, oh God, I can't. Guys, I have such a fear of bugs. Just,
Yeah, bugs they can be scary.
ugh.
Yeah.
Um, what else?
I have a few other picks.
Okay.
One is an obvious one. Darth Vader in the hallway in Rogue One. I think a lot of people would pick that one.
I think they would, but at the same time, like that doesn't scare me. That's just awesome.
I agree, but if I try to put myself in the shoes of one of those rebel soldiers, then it's very scary. So,
That's
so, like,
fair. That's totally
I'd
fair.
be the guy he cuts and then holds up to the ceiling and forgets about, and then slices me in half after.
Yeah, I think
Um,
I'm coming from it as my own personal anxiety and scariness. Like in Force Awakens, the first time I saw it, before, well, I wouldn't say the first time I saw it, but I guess more before I got into being such a big fan of Kylo Ren, like the part where he's chasing Rey through the forest is scary.
yeah,
Like you don't
it
know who
is.
this is. He doesn't take his helmet off yet. Like, which by the way, beautiful forest. You can go visit it, I guess, in England. But yeah, like and you just hear the noises, like it's beautiful sound design where you like hear glimpses of him coming here and there, but like that's scary. That's the manual shift right there. Kylo Ren is chasing me through the woods. I have to run. I see a car, manual shift. Get in the car. I know how to drive it.
Right.
There it is. There's the scenario.
There it is. Yeah, good call. I have a couple more Vader moments. One is low key, and it always scares me because of the same idea you just brought up about Kylo Ren in the forest with Rey. It's
Mhm.
when Han is trying to get Leia out of Echo Base on Hoth, and then you hear Imperials have entered the base, and you know Vader's there, and you know he's like in that building that you're in as you're trying to escape, and he's just behind you, like Michael Myers in this weird way. That is scary to me, knowing that guy is there right on your tail as you're trying to get out of there. For whatever reason, when they say the Imperials have entered the base and you see Darth Vader flanked with the snowtroopers, that's a low-key scary situation to be in.
Or the
Because
Wampa.
well, the Wampa, of course, is scary, yeah. And then when Luke is fighting Vader on Cloud City, and he kicks Vader down like the shaft, and he has to go find him again, and Vader just jumps out of nowhere and swipes at him. That is
Mhm.
scary. Like you
Yeah.
hear the breathing, you're not sure where he is, and all of a sudden it's just no music cue. It's just lightsaber coming at him. That is a very scary moment in The Empire Strikes Back, an underrated scary sort of jump scare.
I do want to share this one really quick, John, which is one that I never considered, which Star Wars Steve says, I'll tell you what was scary when you start thinking about the woman whose dress Leia wore in the Ewok village.
mm.
That is a good question.
Is
Whose
there
dress was it?
But is there not a chance that maybe one of the 1,000 Ewoks, or however many there are on the
Perfectly
Forest
fit
Moon of
Carrie
Endor,
Fisher's body?
that could just put something together for her?
Maybe. Or
Like,
they ate the person before, like they were going to do with Han and Luke.
yeah,
That's the kind of.
but it's possible they had a seamster, a seamstress, and they fired it up and put something together for her. Oh, nothing over.
Can you do that again?
That's my only Wicked impression.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, nothing going.
That was actually really good. I'm like shocked right now. Good that was. Oh man.
Thank you. Not as good as the JJ, but
one more time?
no, I gotta save
Come
it.
on, one more time.
No more. It's over. The moment has passed.
Fine.
But thank you, Mike. The Cohoons, the centipede things that Sam
Oh
Wessel
God.
tried to kill Padme with. That is
Crawling up the
very
bed.
scary.
Oh.
Yeah. Especially as she's sleeping. And
What
you
is with
always
the
hear
bugs? What is with the bugs in Star Wars? Can
but
we
bugs
have
are
an episode
scary,
about
and George
bugs?
Lucas dialed into that. He's like, if I need a scary moment, we're gonna go with bugs or creepy alien bugs. But the whole idea that she's sleeping, and you always hear that myth that everyone swallows 9 spiders a year in their sleep or whatever,
It's 8.
and it's like she's sleeping, and those 2 things are there, and they're so gross. And it's like anytime a centipede is big, it's just really horrifying because it looks like it's a hovercraft,
They
but
also
its
move
little
really
legs are moving.
fast. Yeah, they
Yeah.
move really fast.
And then you hear people like, if you see one of those in your house, leave it alone because it's going to kill all the other things in your
No.
house. I'm like, dude,
I kill that
if
thing
that
so
thi-
fast.
yeah,
No.
come on.
Get out of here. In fact,
Yeah.
I don't kill it. I scream for Matt to come kill it, if we're being
Oh.
honest with ourselves.
Yeah, someone else just put in the chat the bugs and the acolyte. Those were kind of creepy too.
Oh my God.
yeah.
What's with all the bugs?
A lot of bugs. I think that's the ticket. I think bugs is the ticket for scary in general, but also scary in Star Wars.
I think bugs is where it leans kind of into the sci-fi stuff. Like once you get into bugs, it's like very kind of alien-esque.
Yeah, for sure. It's creepy.
No me
It's-
gusta.
Yeah. The last one I had, and there's a billion other picks, so let us know in the comments whether it's Spotify or on YouTube or on our Discord, wherever. Let us know because there's going to be plenty to choose from, and we could be here all night. But the last
And
one I
rate
thought
John's impression out of 10.
of my Wicked, I'm adding my Wicked impression to my list of Tauntauns, my Jacked Fish impression, and my JJ impression. Yeah, it's a good time. But my last one is Kylo when he first gets to Exegol and he's walking through that misty, dark, creepy place. Like that is scary. You see the lightning flashes, and you're seeing all these machines and these like weird druid-looking cloners, and you don't know what's going on. And then you hear Palpatine's voice echoing, and he's walking slowly with his lightsaber as though it's like a torch, like Indiana Jones. I think that's an underrated scary moment when Kylo first gets to Exegol and he's trying to find Palpatine. That's a really beautiful scene, but it's also really scary.
And the Palpatine reveal is really creepy too, where he's like half dead and you see his fingers are all gross and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you realize everything you've
been.
been building up to is just Palpatine, and it gets really scary because you know that's where the movie's going. And you're like, no, actually, I was gonna say one of my big scary moments, my final one, is the one that terrified me when I was little, which is the garbage bin, the thing being in the water that you can't see. The Dianoga.
The Dianoga, yeah.
And the fact that something can grab you under the water and pull you under, like after seeing that movie in the bathtub, I'd be like, even though obviously you can see, but little kids, they don't think about that. They're like, is it going to come out of the drain?
True.
Am I okay?
Yeah.
Dianoga was really creepy.
Yeah.
And when it's really just one guy being like,
I know. It's like Phil Tippett's underwater with a scuba mask on, just raising his arm up like, and someone else is turning it with a remote control.
No, Bob, go the other way, Bob. The other way.
And Mark Hamill's like, can I get a cut here? I got all this schmutz in my hair. Yeah, but that's all I got. So yeah, there's plenty more
for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Next year,
but I just thought it would be fun because a lot of we don't often talk about that element because Star Wars does, like I said at the top, it borrows from a lot of different things. And obviously George Lucas and Dennis Muren was hugely inspired by monster movies and giant scorpions and weird things. So they probably had so much fun creating these new bugs and new creatures and but all these scary moments, even the ones that don't involve bugs and creatures, I think they passed the test for scary moments for Star Wars.
Absolutely.
Yes, it was a good chat. But now it is time to hear from the Resistance because we have a segment called Resistance Transmissions.
That noise is the noise I make when I see a bug in my house. All right, guys. Hey, Darth Snips. How's it going? All right. Resistance transmissions. This is my favorite segment that we always do. Well, we try to always do it, but it is where we hear from you guys in the community on what you think about something in Star Wars. It could be funny, silly, meaningful, I don't know, spooky maybe. I don't know what it is. So the way it works is John puts up a crazy, wacky situation on social media and you guys give your answers and I don't know what it is and we just go with it. We see what happens. So, the situation is you are a rebel spy who snuck into the Empire's turf. Ooh, turf. This is such a John Hoey term. His turf. In classic Star Wars fashion, you subdue an officer and take their uniform. Did you kill someone? Or is it just
Did
like
I?
knock? I'm asking in the scenario. You wrote the scenario. Do you kill them or do you just like knock them out and take their clothes?
Yeah, it might be a knockout situation. And then they stumble out and they're like Empire boxers, like, what happened? Oh,
I'm sorry. What was that?
yeah.
Anyway, you run into an actual Imperial officer. What do you say to convince them you're one of them? So you got to do a little lying here. Little persuasion. All right.
Yeah.
First up is Frank Grande. What up, man? He's in the chat right now at Blue Sky. So Frankie Grande at bluesky.social. Hi, am I not the right height for a stormtrooper? I would not be. I'm 5'4" 3/4. I would not be the right height.
Oh, we're adding 3/4 now. I see.
I am. That's
Yeah.
what's on my legal government documents.
Yeah, I'm 6'7". I don't know if you knew that.
You're such a jerk. What do you think I am that I'm not 5'4" 3/4?
5'4", 5'2".
No, you're a jerk. Give me those 3/4.
You got?
I'm not
Does that include
5'2".
the
I am not
ponytail top?
No,
Is that the
ponytail top, I'd
3/4?
probably be over like 5.5, 5'5.5".
I think that qualifies for stormtrooper. I think 5'5" is the cutoff.
Is it?
Yeah.
No short kings and stormtroopers. All right. Star Wars Steve, who's also in the chat. What up, Steve? At Star Wars Steve on X said, I was in the shooting range earlier, blasting off a few E11 bolts. I'm sounding really convincing reading this, by the way. And well, I got 0 out of 100. So yeah, same as usual.
That checks out.
Can't make a shot.
Checks out.
Next is Shadow Gear and Amulet at shadowgear.bluesky.social. What up? They said, is it a bad time to tell Lord Vader he left his lightsaber back on Alderaan?
Ooh, that is a bad time. You think Vader would be like, not again?
My question is, if you're trying to convince them that you're one of them, why would you say that?
I know. You know, this.
Do you want to get choked? Is that the thing? Like, oh well, if we all mess up, then you're legit. If you're messing up.
I feel like whoever that person is, that officer that Shadow Gear is creating for us, is the type of person who's like, hey, why don't you go tell Vader this? But they don't do it, but they get someone else to like go like spread the bad news or to deliver the bad news. But this just made me think real quick about I know we've talked about this, but you got to refresh things once in a while. Like the whole Excalibur element of Anakin's lightsaber, like that's the Excalibur, that's the lightsaber. You know, it calls to people, and it's like, let us not forget that Anakin's on like at least his 3rd lightsaber by Attack of the Clones.
Bro's losing him left and right.
Yeah. He breaks his lightsaber at the end of Attack of the Clones, at the end of Attack of the Clones, and he goes, not again, meaning he's done it before. So he's at least on his 3rd lightsaber by the time we get to Revenge of the Sith. And that one, I guess, is the magic one, because that's the one that led to him turning into a s'more, I guess. But anyway.
Snips and Mike are talking in the chat, by the way, John, that Snips missed your impression. So if you want to do it really, really quick again.
Well, the Resistance broadcast can be found on Apple, Spotify, YouTube.
All right.
All right, I'll try to do it again.
Okay, go.
And nothing go.
I think that's my favorite one that you do.
Hey, Lacey.
How dare you? Incredible. All right. Mike Ramori's up. Drum Jedi. What up, Mike? I know you're in the chat. He said, hey, have you seen the new T-16s? They're like, oh, hey, yeah. That would be actually a very specific phrase.
You would fit in immediately. I feel like stormtroopers never know what to talk about with each other, so they're always like, "What's the last model that came out?"
I love that every time you do a dumb person voice, it's always a surfer. It's always like, yeah, bro. Like that is your dumb person voice.
If you don't like,
You get it out.
get out.
Next is Chris at Heroes Peak at Heroes Peak is it Heroes Peak? Yeah, Heroes Peak at .bluesky.social. And Chris said, I just transferred here from Edu. Where's the bathroom? Oh, jeez. And then we have Dub Grig at dubgrig.bsky.social, who said, you hear what is going on in Gorman? They are eating the Loth wolves. They're eating the Loth cats. Oh, my God. Oh, jeez.
Good
And that's
stuff.
it, guys. Thank you
Good
so
stuff.
much for your responses. If you want to be a part of the show, make sure to follow us on social media at TRB Podcast and just keep your eyes out for our resistance transmissions. They're usually posted either Tuesday or Wednesday. So just check and you could make it on the show.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, being in the base, hanging out with us, being a part of TRB. I love doing this because you get to escape from the real world for a bit and have a good time, a good laugh, and talk about our favorite movie franchise. So it's always a good time. So thank you all, however you joined us, whether it's live or after the fact. Again, make sure you're subscribed to the show. And if you're able to join our Patreon, we do have our Q&A coming up live next. So patrons, hop over there in the next 5-10 minutes or so. Speaking of the Edu request for bathroom, I'm going to use the bathroom and then we'll get to the Q&A. But join our Patreon, patreon.com/TRB podcast. Like Lacey said before, tier start at $5, and we do a lot of things like the live Q&A and all of that. So we would love to have you join us. We love the support. It means a great deal to us, and it's a good time. But a quick big shout out to the Generals and Spice Runners on Patreon. The Generals: Carmelo, John Reese, Jetta Rosewater, Frank Grande, Chris Morales, Mike Ramori, Brendan McLaughlin, Sneaky Zebra, Dave Hornack, Colin Cormier, Stephen Garrow, and Darth Snips, who made it and got me to do the impression one more time for the last time. That's actually the last time I'm doing it. The Spice Runners: David Probus, Neil Shaw, Kendall Gellner, Andrew Staley, Jeremy Myers, DeFort Worthy, and Brian Smith. And however you support TRB, thank you so much. Don't forget, trbpodcast.com. Our new merch is out. We got the JJ shirt. We got the Endor pullover hoodie. And we got the Jacked Fish baseball tee. If you want to look jacked, there's no better way than to wear the Jacked Fish baseball tee. Yes, the Yankees are out, but the baseball tee lives on. So go to trbpodcast.com, check these out. Thank you for supporting our new merch. We put a lot into it. They've been in the works for a while, and we really appreciate it. And Lacey has mine. I got to go scoop those up.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Lacey, where can people hit you up to talk to you about the scary moments in Star Wars and all the other fun stuff we chatted about?
Well, I do want to bring up, we do have a super chat.
Oh,
we did not
all right.
bring up. So first up, David Ford, thank you so much for the super chat. Sorry we didn't get it because we didn't do Ask the Resistance, so it kind of got delayed a little bit. But he asks, will Disney willow their way out of releasing Ahsoka Season 2 by taking a tax write-off?
Oh,
With a laugh face. No, they're releasing Ahsoka. Dave Filoni would never let that happen. But thank you so much for the super chat.
David, you are a funny guy. Thank you.
A lot of jokes. I also do want to give a shout out to the people that have been tuning in on Instagram. Thank you guys so much. There's a bunch of people over there, but specifically at _nerdy_book_shelf, who wanted everybody to know that the Dagobah cave scene is scary.
Yes.
And I agree. That scene is very scary. Sometimes the truth is terrifying. But yeah, people can find me on social media at Lacey Gillerin, and of course here on TRB and Nerdy and Nice. I think we already went through that whole spiel, but it's Mondays talking about pop culture stuff. I did watch the latest few episodes, the beginning at least, of Love is Blind and a really terrible rom-com on Netflix. So we'll be talking about that on Monday. But more than that, thank you guys so much for your support. It means a lot to us, and stay tuned for more from us.
Yeah, and me, Johnny Hoey on Blue Sky, or if you want to see my hate tweets about baseball on X. But yeah, those two are the main spot. And then, of course, TRB Discord. I'm always popping in there to chat with people and stuff like that. But thank you all so much. We'll be back with you next Thursday with another live show. And like Lacey said, Nerdy and Nice on Monday. I'm diving back into Stranger Things. We're going to be talking about Stranger Things a lot on Nerdy and Nice as we head to the final season. I know a lot of Star Wars fans love Stranger Things. A lot of our listeners love Stranger Things. So check out Nerdy and Nice for all of our nerding out about Stranger Things. But yeah, we'll be back next Thursday with you here on TRB. So have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time right here on the Resistance Broadcast. See you around, kids.